I mean, looking here, yeah?
Yeah. Well, and occasionally we're allowed to.
You'd know.
Hey everyone! Hey, it's Aisha Anime, and I'm here with the lovely Penelope Rowlands. Hello.
Hi.
Thanks.
It's Rollins.
Oh, Rowland. Sorry. Start again. Hi, it's Aisha Anime, and I'm here with Penelope Rowlands. Thanks for being here.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
We're so hyped to have you with the announcement of the cult game Ayuden Chronicles. Now, if you're not aware, it is seen as a spiritual successor for this massive JRPG called Suikoden, and a bunch of the team left and went on to do this just because they were saying they wouldn't continue it. And you voice a very, one of many iconic characters, but Carrie, who is the Chaos Girl teleporter, I'm just so, it was so exciting to see because she's a parallel to previous character in Suikoden called Vicky. But a question that comes up a lot on Discord community conversations from the fans about how does it feel to be so perfect all the time?
Fantastic. I actually, a lot of the time as I was doing it, I was thinking, I'm gonna channel a bit of Carrie in my real life. You know those times when you're not necessarily feeling you're having the best day or whatever, you just think, I need a little bit of Carrie. She's just, she's fearless. I love that.
And I believe it. When she says she's flawless, I'm like, this girl is not going to back down. And when she was like, I need to monitor you, make sure you don't let anyone know about my slip-ups. And they're like, what slip-ups? We thought you were perfect.
She's a clever girl.
And upon getting, so you voiced Carrie, you voiced Quinn and Pubi. So upon getting that, did you do separate interviews or did you just go in and do one and then you got told, right, you're this, this and this?
I auditioned for Carrie and for Quinn, and then the other characters, Pubi, so sweet, and Thud, they came from just having worked on the game.
That is amazing. And already, Pubi feels almost like a mascot of the game because when first footage came out, it was the three main characters, including the Marlene who has Pubi. So it was we were already seeing and we're like, I can't wait. Were you hoping to get a villain role as well?
No, I was very happy with those because I think with everybody there's a difference. We have our villain and our non-villain sides to us, and there's a heroine side to us. No, I mean, I love playing villains as well. I have played villains. So I was very happy actually having those range of characters within that game because they are so different, as you know. So I had a nice range of characters and journeys to go on, which was a lot of fun.
So do you think, because I think there's a lot of similarities actually between Carrie and Quinn. They're both seen as on top of their game in what they do. So Quinn with her lens runes obsession, and Carrie with the teleportation and being top at magic. Do you think they're being cocky or are they that confident?
Well, it's interesting you say passion stroke obsession. Well, you said obsession. I sort of feel like there's if you're gonna, I think about when people have a passion about something, it's very easy for us to say they're obsessed by it. So, particularly with Quinn, there's a passion there, and of course some people will view that as an obsession, but to her, she doesn't see it as an obsession. She's just passionate. So there is that natural confidence. Whether or not that's cocky, maybe that's in the mind of the viewer. Really, I think there's a natural confidence, and I think it comes from when we're passionate about anything. I think it just comes across as very committed and sure about where their path is, where they're going. So I'm not sure I could say cocky.
Well, I think again in the same way, Carrie's pretty much like, I need to monitor you. We can't let you say anything about my slip-ups. And then also with Quinn, it's like, oh no, I couldn't share the lens runes with you. Oh wait, you want me to help? Oh, I don't mind helping because that means I can take the runes that you get. And it's like, Okay. You know your way of making the most of the situation.
Yeah, quite single. I mean, there's both of them have that similarity that they're quite sort of single-minded and focused in terms of where their attention is at that time. So, yeah.
And one important thing, how do you mentally separate doing different characters and keeping their personality from bleeding into each other?
Well, when you're recording a character, you're recording that character. So you're not necessarily. Whereas in audiobooks, when you're narrating a book, you're jumping around, all the time with different characters. But with recording games with characters, you're focused just on Carrie, and so really there's no risk of bleeding into the other one, because at the moment you're in the world of Carrie. Your mind, your thoughts, everything, you're thinking about Carrie. And then obviously when I was recording Quinn, my mind was on Quinn. Carrie got put to the side. So it's about, I don't think it's difficult at all in terms of keeping it focused, because you're in that zone. If you think about a person and you think about another person in your mind, you're never thinking about they don't blur, do they? You've got a picture in your mind of somebody, right? And then you talk about somebody else and you've got a picture of them. So it doesn't, it may seem like that could happen, but I don't think it certainly doesn't happen for me.
They haven't had a fist fight yet.
No, they haven't had a fist fight. Be interesting. I have no idea who would win.
I was literally going to ask who would win out of the two. Poopy's safe on this one.
Yes. Poopy will be asleep.
So, another question. So, imagine Carrie could teleport anything to attack her victims with. What would she use?
Oh, I don't know. It depends what's at her side.
Everyone who's standing nearby, run away.
Yeah, exactly.
Looking at the different types of games coming out, the unique selling point for Ayuden Chronicles is you recruit so many people and you're bringing them together, which I think is really important. We're looking at gaming. It can become a bit of a multiplayer thing, a co-op thing, and you're kind of coming together. Would you say perhaps gaming has changed over the years?
Oh, massively so, yeah, massively. I mean, the way in which you can communicate with other players, back when I was sort of growing up as a kid, that didn't happen. We were like on Tetris or Pac-Man. I'm giving my age away, but it's massively changed. It's so much the animation, the writing, the involvement. It's sort of, I mean, it's exciting because I genuinely mean this. Anything is possible, and it's exciting. It's exciting. It's a very exciting world to be a part of.
And in general, when you as a voice actor, so when you do your auditions, do you end up in a studio nowadays, or do you do it all from home?
It varies. It very much varies from project to project. So a lot of voice actors now will have some form of a recording device, even if it's on, your phone. These smartphones have pretty good microphones on them, so people can use those, or they'll have a setup. I mean, I have a home studio, so I have done auditions from my home studio, but I've also gone in person. So it really varies from project to project.
And for Ayuden Chronicles, how did you go about auditioning?
Well, I was suggested for certain parts to audition, and so I auditioned, and thankfully got the part.
Would you say it's key to get management involved or sourcing out yourself?
Oh, well, I'm lucky enough. I have a voice agent, Shiny Management, and they're fantastic in terms of getting my opportunities out there. But I think it's more and more now. I think in any kind of industry, it's everybody has to get on board. So I think we're all sort of looking out to see what's going on out there, and and hopefully the auditions come in and we're successful.
With your experience of so many different roles, voiceovers you've done for Audible readings, what would your advice be to a person starting out as a voice actor?
Oh gosh, how long have we got? I've done quite a bit of coaching actually for people wanting to get into the voice acting world, and there are so many genres of voice acting. You know, it's not, you know, there's computer games, there's animation, there's audiobooks, all three of which I work in regularly, and there's so much others. There's commercials, e-learning, corporate narration, ADR, dubbing. So there is so much. So I think perhaps starting off, you want to figure out which kind of area you want to focus on, because it's, you know, there's so many different areas, and get reels together for those specific genres. But the number one thing I say to all people that I'm coaching is just practice, practice, practice. You cannot practice too much.
Are we talking vocal exercises every day in front of the mirror?
Could do that, yeah. I mean, I used to do vocal exercises when I was drama school back in the day, daily. So yes, definitely vocal exercises. I mean, you still need to do it, you know, now as a professional. But it's not just that. It's practicing your characters. If you want to be a character voice actor, then you need to sort of play around with that. Read to children. It's the best thing, because children are very honest. And if they don't like what you're doing, they will stop listening. So, practice reading stories to children, because they will let you know how you're doing. And if they're my children, they'll give me feedback.
I think that's the real honest truth you're going to get from your kids.
Yeah. They're honest.
That's amazing. Moving along to other video game roles you've done, I'm so pleased to be in this room with you, because you've done so many JRPG roles, and it's like rare to get hold of people like you, because some of these roles have a few lines, but a massive amount of lore behind it. So we have characters like Rachel Klein from Live a Life, where she is kind of in a love triangle, but you actually see her for a short amount of the game, and most of it she's in cryogenic sleep. Big contrast to Quinn, or I would say other roles. And how do you feel about that? Do you, for example, when you're doing the role, do you get direction? Do you get a paragraph about this character, and then you're like, right, I want to make her sassy in 2-3 lines, or...
Well, you get a lot of guidance from the director and the client as well, and so there is discussion before ever voicing any character about who this person is, what's going on for them, where are they in the scenario, of the script that we're voicing. So you do get a well-rounded picture of where this person is, and really, I mean, this is probably going to be answering possibly many other questions, that really, in terms of voice acting any characters, you need a vivid imagination, and if you can go there in your mind, then that helps. And if you've got a great director and you've got a client who's on board as well, giving guidance or whatever, it's very much a collaborative process, which I love. It's not a solitary experience at all, which is lovely. It's lovely to be a part of.
Do you also get given a Japanese version, just to kind of get a feel for tone?
That would depend. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to cough. Sorry.
Do you need a drink? Meanwhile.
Yes.
You right there.
Just call my phone. Okay. And I'm back.
She's back.
Do you at times want to narrate your own story?
My story?
Yeah, I mean, to the game, sometimes you're like, and then the character sits there and waits, or...
It's never really come up in my recording sessions. But yeah, I mean, do you need another drink? You do.
I do.
Is it something I said?
It's just water, guys.
So she said.
Has this ever happened when you've done recordings where your
Yes.
throat goes?
Absolutely. That's why we have water around us all the time. Because sometimes you're particularly having to do kind of combat scenes, battle scenes, or whatever. No, there's always hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. That's my other tip for voice actors. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate.
So when you do like a fight scene, how many times are we talking that you have to make the same kind of growl noise but different times?
It really varies.
Different ways.
It's so very, it's very variable. They will always give lots of different alts, so they've got something to choose from. Yeah. Anyway, we do it at the end of the day so that the voice is,
warmed up, right?
Yeah.
Another role you did within Triangle Strategy, which was Gela.
Gila.
Oh, Gila,
Yes.
sorry. Right, we'll try that again. Oh my goodness, my nose is gone now as well.
Oh no.
Gila.
Gila, yeah.
Okay. Another role you did within Triangle Strategy, which is Gila. I feel like so many similarities between her and Quinn actually at times.
Okay, yeah.
So they're both quite passionate in what they do. So Gila wants to be so is part of the Cognita Ergo Sum, and is a ship signaler and is oh no, oh my god, sorry, all wrong. Start over. Okay, right, cool. Okay. Another character that you did was Gila from Triangle Strategy. I feel like there's so many similarities between her and the role of Quinn from Ayuden, where they're both very knowledgeable and very passionate at what they want to do. Gila is a researcher and a member of the House War Council, also a healer, funnily enough, and her as a playable character, her route, very interesting. Again, like, I have to ask you, are you team white mage or black mage?
Oh, it depends. I like a bit of both. I mean, I've done characters that are more on the black major things. So I've done both, and I enjoy both. I enjoy the variety.
What would you say is your do you have an inspiration? So when you get like for example, a certain, maybe let's say young lady role, do you think of a certain person or a celebrity and you think, I want to like base it on that?
No, I've never based characters on somebody else. I tend to go through my head in terms of finding out, kind of being a detective, being a bit of a psychologist, if you like, a faux psychologist, and figuring out where they are, who they are, trying to meet them where they at that time, and kind of drawing out from myself. And sometimes what will happen is that I will do a character or I'll do a voice, and people might say, or even I might discover, God, that sounds so much like so-and-so. You go, oh, right, okay. But I don't tend to work from the out in. It tends to come from in out, if that makes sense.
So games like, for example, like Triangle Strategy, Live a Life, very iconic because they follow like a completely different path of like recruiting people and then following different paths. Do you feel like you're the main character in your story, or do you feel like you're an NPC?
That's a really good question. No, I think everybody, if you think about it in real life, you're the main character of your story, and I'm the main character in my story. So I always see it as that person's journey. So in a sense, the main character of their life. I'm not really aware of being a NPC.
And I was gonna ask, who would you feel kind of represents you the most out of all the characters that you've voiced.
Oh my gosh.
There must be someone there that you have a soft spot for, and you're like, it feels like the real Penelope.
Well, there's so many sides to Penelope. So that's not really answering your question. That's a really difficult one because there's so many different sides to us in terms of, you know, when we're angry, when we're happy, when we're going through good times, going through not so good times. So, no, I don't think there's one character that... Maybe Poopy on a sleepy day.
Or a hungry day.
Or a hungry day, yeah.
Right. We need to address this one character that I was absolutely shocked. I'm going to have to say it. The bloated hyena from Baldur's Gate 3. I mean, how does one go about auditioning for that role?
Well, I was working on the game, and I can't really reveal too much because of the good old NDA. It was an extraordinary experience, and as I said before, you know, the mind had to go somewhere. Well, the mind went somewhere, and I just feel really fortunate to have been involved in that game because it is phenomenal. I mean, it's, you know, it's, as it has proved, it's doing so well. And it's a real honour to have put my voice to so many of the characters on there as well. I think it was about 27 I voiced in the end. From Umi the Tiefling kid to the Toll House Collector, which got quite different.
Shows a lot of range. And like you said, how you are in a different day and a different mood, right?
Yeah, sometimes I feel more Umi and sometimes I feel more Toll House Collector, so, you know.
I'll put chat on the side for you.
Oh. Hey, how's chat doing? Hello, everyone. Feel free to ask questions. We're just having a conversation with Penelope Rawlins. I did it again. Sorry.
It's alright, I'll correct you. Rawlins.
It's on the screen as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's it, Rawlins.
Raw.
Gotcha.
Rah.
Hey everyone, I hope you're having a really good work lurk. Groucho, Kira, Arch, Jeff. Hope you're all good, guys. Brilliant. Cool. So, you obviously, when working, you don't have all the time in the world to play every single game you've been in. So, have you been tempted to YouTube certain clips that you're in?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I'm really impressed as well about how they kind of managed to get those clips together and stuff. It's great, and my kids love it as well. Actually, they really do.
Do you find that they sometimes go out and be like, "That's mummy"?
Yes. They were massively impressed about me voicing Grandma Shark. I got massive kudos at home for that.
Well, speaking about voices for children things, like you worked on Peppa Pig. That's massive. That's like every child, every parent has watched this show.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more? Like, I mean, because I find it, at times I'm like, Peppa, you're a terrible example for today's, you know, youngins. What do you think about Peppa?
I think it's incredibly clever, and it's very real and true to life as a 4-year-old, as a preschooler, and life as a parent as well. I think what I find so clever about the episodes is that it's like they're very aware that, you know, adults, parents are going to be listening to and watching the episodes as well as the children. So there's a great parallel for children and adults in those shows where I can watch it, you know, with my children as well, and really relate to the adult characters in the show. I think it's it's hugely successful, and I understand why, really. And you know, my children are still enjoying it even as they get older. So yeah.
Do you have any nice memories, like, of any of your characters? I think one of your characters was Baby
Alexander. Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny because when I was at school as a teenager, I was at Elmhurst Ballet School, and it was a boarding school. And it was when we were around about when we were doing our GCSEs, that sort of year, and I was in a dorm with 5 of my best mates, and I don't think my house mistress knows about this, whether or not she's ever going to watch this, but basically it was lights out at 10 o'clock, okay, and we had to be asleep, no talking, nothing, and they'd go, Penny, do the crying baby. So I would do the noise of a crying baby, and then all of a sudden the house mistress would come in and be like, what's that noise? And we would then pretend that we'd been asleep, and we'd be like, what? And she's like, I heard a noise in here. We were so naughty. I was so naughty. I'm so sorry. And then she'd shut the door and she'd go away, and then I'd start doing the baby crying. And little did I know that, all these years later, it would come handy in my career as Baby Alexander.
I was going to say, that's literally the beginning of your voice acting journey, right?
Yes, probably.
Oh, my goodness. And I love horror and things like that. I would be terrified. I'd be like, oh my God.
My children find it very disconcerting when I do the baby crying. It really freaks them out. But they're like, do it. And then I do it, and they're like, oh, this is weird.
Do you think, from all your experiences and doing all your different jobs, that your kids would ever consider doing voice acting?
Possibly. I mean, they're both very good with voices. And my daughter, she's 5. She did say the other day that she'd like to be a voice artist. So that's a good sign. So who knows? I mean, one's 9 in about 5 days, my son, and my daughter's 5. So there's a way to go. So we'll see. But they're both very theatrical. But they have theatrical parents, so I guess that was just going to happen.
Runs in the family, right?
Runs in the family, yeah.
And now that we've spoken about various different roles you've worked on, you were also one of the most favourite characters in another series called Arknights, which is a mobile game. How does it feel to be considered people's waifu?
It's lovely to be appreciated in the work that one does, I guess.
So it's really popular in these type of games. When you've got, like, for example, like Genshin Impact, that kind of stuff. People roll for characters. They will start paying to get certain characters, and then they become very dedicated, and they get all the art, all the pictures, keyrings, and so forth. And Arknight's just one of those adorable games with so many cat ladies. Oh, so cute.
Great outfits.
Fantastic outfits and alt outfits. Actually, one of your characters, Kazamaru, has an outfit that she never talks about, but she's always like, yeah, you can see it later. And it's like, oh, okay, can't wait to see this outfit. Again, I guess for this one, the voice is interesting, right? I feel like the voices, I can actually tell it's you, but they're just for example, how the speed of each character, how they speak and how they pronounce each word is different. I'm really interested in how you went about doing these roles.
Well, again, it's about their sort of their personal story and their journey and where they're going. And obviously, when you're voicing more than one character, and they're all all female and everything, you do need to think about how am I going to differentiate. And so it was really through the guidance of the writers and the director and the creators that we found what was going on for them and how that would reflect in their voice.
And it's an interesting one because in the actual game you've got different menus where you can listen to the different dialogues and things like that, which I think is pretty cool. So how would you feel if someone came up to you, a fan, and they had your voice as a notification sound?
I would be honoured. That's very sweet.
What would you, if you got to have release your voice as a notification, what would your line be?
Oh, I don't know. I've got to think about the character as well, haven't I?
Oh yeah, true.
Oh, I think it would probably be Baby Alexander crying.
Yeah, just crying.
Yeah, just crying.
probably get everyone's attention.
It really would, wouldn't it? Maybe not for the right reason, but there you go.
So varying from what Kazemaru, you've got a feline ninja, you got Pudding, who's kind of a little bit aloof, has a pillow as a childhood friend, and then you've got Melanthia, who is very rich from a family of perfume. What would you like? Whose life would you like to live?
Whose life would I like to live?
Yeah.
Oh, so Penelope?
Yeah.
Out of those?
Yeah.
I think we'll have, oh gosh. Don't know, possibly Pudding.
Yeah, Pudding.
Yeah.
Pudding seems like she doesn't want for much, but she's having a good time whatever she's doing, right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. She's
Yeah.
content.
Like it. So we're doing over like 300 audiobooks, like performing on screen, with celebrities in your physical work, as well as like games, waifu cats, bloated hyenas, and our favourite chaos teleporter girl. What's your next goal? It feels like you've achieved so much.
Oh, thank you. I have been very lucky. I feel really lucky and blessed to be doing what I'm doing. And, you know, it's something that both my husband and I say to our children in terms of their future and whatever they want to do, just make sure you do something that you love, you know, if you can. And we're both very lucky to be able to do that. Such a good question. What's my future goal? I guess just hopefully continuing what I'm doing and having new experiences. I mean, I'm quite an in the moment kind of person. Very much what you see is what you get, and I think I sort of tend to focus sort of in the now, and I don't think too far into the future, because I guess you never know what's going to happen in the future. So in terms of my future goal, it's just I think keep enjoying what I'm doing, and hopefully get to continue what I'm doing, just focus on the good.
So I have to bring up something controversial. How do you feel about people signing contracts for people to use their likeness or their voices after they're gone?
It's a difficult one, because that's getting into the world of AI, which is really scary for us in this industry, and for a lot of people, not just as voice actors, but you know, there's a lot of people that are being their livelihood is being threatened as a result of it. So it's a tricky one that is alarming and frightening, if I'm honest.
I was watching this maybe in episodes of Black Mirror maybe a few years ago, and it's so close to home now that people already started doing it. It's like, wow, like some people are like, it won't matter, we're gone, doesn't matter, and there's some people who are like, yeah, but I don't really want my stuff to be hanging about 2,000 years from now. Like, what are they going to use it for? Kind of thing.
Yeah. I don't know. It's the
But interesting, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything that you're working on you'd like to promote?
Yeah, gosh, I'm working on lots of different things. I've been working on some more computer games.
Yeah.
So they'll be out soon, I'm sure. And animation.
We like anime.
We love animation. I have a really cute series that that I voice on CBeebies, which is out at the moment, called Yuki.
Oh.
It's so delightful. It's one of those programs that I wish I had watched. I wish it had been around when I was a 4 or 5 year old. It's for preschoolers, and it's about these animals they're all friends with a little girl called Yuki, and each animal plays an instrument, and I voice Tap Tap, who is a woodpecker who plays the drums. And it's absolutely delightful, and it's working with nature, it's working with music and finding music in nature, and it's a gorgeous show that I'm really, really proud to be a part of. So if anybody's got little ones that are interested in music and learning more about music, I highly recommend it.
And you also mentioned briefly that you do voice coaching.
Yes.
Yeah. And where would people go to find out more about that?
Get hold of me via my website, penelopewilliams.co.uk, and drop me a message, and we can talk further about that.
Brilliant. It's been a pleasure having you.
This has been so fun. Thank you so much.
No, you'll be hearing from me again, I'm sure. So thank you so much, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Yes, I look forward to it. Bye.